everyone, I am doing my weekly reflection number one. I'm going to start off with talking about the video. The videos that were provided within this module. Um, I could not agree more with these videos because I feel that they don't allow children to think for themselves. Teachers are told by the higher ups, you need to teach from this book. Your students need to know all the answers and pass these tests. If your students, the majority of them, do not pass, you're doing something wrong. And that's just on the teacher's behalf. But then we look at the students, and the students are being judged from the time that they're in kindergarten. If they don't pass these tests, they are automatically put into a section of, okay, well, you're not passing to the next grade level. You're not getting into a good middle school, high school. You're not getting into a good university, meaning you're not going to get a good job that pays good money. And I feel that that's not a right way to teach children. I feel that children should be taught to think for themselves, to make an understanding of the different topics for themselves, not told, well, the answer is A because it's A. It's like telling a child the sky is green because it's green. If the child asks, no, there's no questions, just the sky is green because I said so. They're not given the opportunity to think outside the box. We're all put into this little box, and that's all that they're allowed to do. In third grade, for me, at least in my third grade year, was one of the hardest FCAT testings that they had. We had about 9 third grade classes, and only about 3 passed on to fourth grade. A total of 3 classes worth passed on to the fourth grade. And then, of course, these students, one, felt upset. They felt like they didn't accomplish what their goals were. Some parents ended up pulling the students out and putting them into private schools since they have more freedom with the way that things are taught. I don't feel that it is appropriate to decide if a child learned the material based on a standardized test made up by somebody that is not in the classroom with the children, and is just throwing out these papers like, okay, this is what it is, this is what has to be taught. From the time that these kids are 7, 8 years old, they're being told by their parents, their peers, their teachers, their siblings, everyone around them, you have to do good in school, you have to get good grades, because if you don't pass these tests, you don't get good grades, you're not going to be moving on to good schools, and when you don't move on to good schools, you don't get into good universities, and then it's an effect that just keeps going. And then if you don't get into a good university, you don't get a good job. I feel that they're being pressured so much from the time that they're so little. Within the video, they actually showed how the kids had part-time jobs, or they did extracurricular activities, and some of them would stay up till 3 in the morning doing homework just to get by. Some students were doing 6 hours worth of homework to be able to pass these courses, pass these classes, pass these standardized tests, so that they could, one, have a good resume for the college, university that they wanted to go to, 2, to be able just to simply pass and graduate high school. Which I think is a little ridiculous to expect this from 15, 16-year-olds. It's too much pressure that we're putting on them. And yet we're still not at the top of the charts when it comes to our education program. We're in the 20s, which, considering all the work and everything that is expected of our students, it just doesn't add up. And I feel that goes back to the fact that our students aren't taught to think for themselves. They're just given the answer. I'm telling you the sky is green, don't question it, pretty much. Which that also leads me into our readings for the week, which were very interesting because I actually touched bases on oppression in one of my other courses in some previous semesters, and as you start reading the chapter, you see, transformative education serves as a way of thinking about the world and understanding relationships between teachers and students. I'm like, oh, that's great. Transformative education is a good way to teach. the teachers always had these goals in mind set for their students. And then it starts breaking down into these different theories. And the theories are constructivist, feminist, aesthetics, critical, multiculturalism, anti-bias, critical, bilingual education. It starts breaking it down into all these little pieces. And once it starts breaking it down into all these little pieces, you start realizing that it starts getting into the bias of our education system, of our system in general. Some people rather not talk to other people because of their race. Some people don't talk to other people because they like the wrong gender, or they feel like the wrong gender, or they don't speak the right language. All these things are something that are taught to the students. It's not something that is learned. It's not something that they are born with, for example. It's something that's taught. And it is so important as an educator to teach your students that that's not the way it has to be. That all of this, the oppression, and I mean the oppressor and the oppressed, one point of a day, they're both being oppressed because nobody's happy. Nobody's getting what they want. And it's always happened in our societies. The minute one society gets too powerful, too big, they start oppressing the other societies. As I feel that the United States does to most societies around them. We are a powerhouse, for example, military-wise, economy. We are a strong population, and it automatically starts oppressing the other societies. For example, the United States expects everybody to speak English. Well, we speak English. You guys have to speak English too. We need to make negotiations. You guys need to get somebody who speaks English. We're not gonna budge on this, and that's what is kind of being taught to our students. And I feel that during the readings, it actually mentions that we need to untrain ourselves from being this way. We need to show ourselves that diversity is a good thing. We are all different. We are all born different for a reason. Our DNA is extremely different from all of each other's. And I just feel that this is something that's very important to look at and know that our kids are all different. And that's why these standardized testing just won't work. But for example, it says some parts in here that it talks about the religions and everything like that. But what really drew my attention was when it spoke about the fact that we need to learn to train ourselves to not be biased, to develop closeness to other people, to teach our students to be okay with each other. It like I mentioned, it's not something they're born with. It's something that they grow up seeing and they learn that way. But if we're able to teach our students to untrain ourselves, as they say in the chapter, to teach our children to appreciate and respect other cultures and societies, I think we would be in a lot better position than where we are now educationally. These are my thoughts and opinions. I hope I did not say anything that makes somebody upset, but I really hope to see some feedback. Bye guys, thanks.